Can you live?
Are you live?
Okay.
I was.
Okay, so we are live.
Y'all on the fly. Y'all somebody.
Hey, we somebody.
Yeah, somebody.
Okay, so. Okay, I'm gonna miss a lot. I was supposed to call. I had some people from the Capitol, but we're gonna make this work all the way. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You know, we got a lot going on, and the station is involved in this major rally. So, okay, hey, go ahead on and tag and share. Let's get everybody in. Facebook family, let's get everybody in. You live too?
No.
Okay, let's get everybody in for what's going to be an amazing show.
Sure. We haven't seen them.
Want to say good afternoon, and once again, welcome to what I want to say is another wonderful, amazing Wednesday right here over the Greg James Community Show. Want to say it has been a busy, busy day right here in the city of Tallahassee. You know what's going on in our city. Hey, the streets are flooded with folk from all over the state of Florida. Reverend Al Sharpton, pastors from around the state are in the city, and the streets are filled with marchers. With that being said, we about 30 minutes behind, but guess what? We still going to bring you one of the best talk shows that is going to happen. Want to give a big shout out to Abria Harris, Al Williams, and all of you who have joined us now on our Facebook Live page. I want you to go ahead on and tag, share. We got an amazing broadcast that is taking place on today. So we want you to get on, get in, tag, share. We're supposed to be talking to some of the guests that was in town today, but we're going to bypass all of that. We're going to bypass our top 5-minute news, and we're going to dive into what I feel like is going to be a life-changing conversation. As a matter of fact, we got some amazing entrepreneurs in the studio, and we're going to talk about what it takes to live your dream, what it takes to become aware of not being afraid to take the next step into what you believe is the best step for the rest of your life. So this is what I need you to do while you're tuned in. I need you to go ahead on and tag, share, and I need you to get everybody on to the Greg James Community Show. I would take a break, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep rolling because Mr. Frazier said, hey, we got to keep this moving. So joining me in the studio is some amazing guests, and I want to be able to let you know who's in the studio with me. In the studio with me is none other than Kima Jones, who is the CEO of Essential Diagnostic Solution, the CEO of Essential Beauties and Wellness, the CEO of Essential Staffing Agency, the CEO of Next Step Healthcare. Good afternoon, Ms. Jones.
Good afternoon.
Listen, I am excited to have you here because, one, would you thought that thinking back on your life, maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you would be at this place?
Absolutely not.
What would you say was a big credit to that?
The big credit to me being here and where I am today would be first God. Two, just making a vision for myself, just writing it down, making it plain, and doing the work where it takes to get there.
All right, absolutely. Well, listen, I'm excited about you being here today because there is an amazing opportunity that is happening, and you are going to be able to tell us more about that. But let's introduce some more of the guests that's going to be joining us today, that's going to be taking part in what's happening on February the 25th.
Fifth.
Yeah, it is.
There it is. Also joining us in the studio is the CEO of Babe Financial Solutions. Is that right?
No.
That's not it? It's not BAE?
It's BAE Financial Solutions.
And so it's BAE
Yes.
Financial Solutions, not Babe. Okay. Well, joining us in the studio is the CEO of BAE Financial Solutions, Miss Aisha Tompkins. Good afternoon.
Correct. So BAE stands for Build and Educate.
Say that again.
BAE stands for Build and Educate.
Build and educate.
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So let's talk about, first of all, the Build and Educate Financial Solutions, and we're going to get into it a lot more. But this event that is happening under the direction of Rise and Thrive University presents Manifest Millions. What do you think that this means to many that will be attending, and for those who are listening? Why is it important for them?
From a financial standpoint, it's very clear to like have that vision. I meet with so many people and I ask them what their number or what it is that they need to, live a comfortable life. And I always hear high numbers, 10,000 a month, 50,000 a month, but they have no realistic goals or no plans to get there. And even if they need that much, so a vision board and just having a plan is a great start to getting to your number.
Wow. Well, listen, we're going to be talking more about what's going to be happening on February the 25th.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about more with Miss Aisha about this vision board and how important that is. Also joining us in the studio, he's none other than the coach, Calvin Frazier,
Yes.
the owner of Kings and Queens Fitness, the president of the Tallahassee Trainers Foundation. Good afternoon, Mr. Frazier. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, extremely well, blessed.
Well, listen, man, this is an amazing moment that is happening in the month of Black History. We're talking about this event is filled with young entrepreneurs who have a mindset that has shifted. I was speaking with you just a little bit on the outside prior to coming in, and you shared something that was so important to me. And before we dive into that, you are the CEO of Kings and Queens Fitness.
Yes.
And fitness is important in all of our lives.
Oh yeah. Your health is your wealth. And if we're speaking on longevity, we have to be able to take care of our temple, right? So a lot of times we neglect it, but I always compare the body to a vehicle. If we don't move our vehicle, what's going to happen? It's going to shut down sooner or later.
And if we're moving our vehicle too fast and not checking all the gauges,
Man, look at here. We're going to have some problems.
well, see, I'm gonna have to attest to you on that because I know exactly what that means.
Mm-hmm.
My vehicle wasn't really parked, but I think I was, ignoring the speed limits, ignoring the rest areas, not going to the service
Now,
station.
you said something, the rest.
Yeah.
area.
I was ignoring all of that and found myself in the hospital having to have my engine worked on.
Correct.
Isn't that amazing?
Man, when we find ourselves constantly busy, and we neglect rest because we constantly, a lot of us, quote unquote, trying to get to the bag, right? So we always trying to go, but your body is really trying to tell you, hey man, you need some rest.
Right.
So rest is very important. Now, I don't really recommend 10 hours a day or nothing like that, but get some rest when it's needed.
Right. Well, listen, man, we're going to dive more into that in a few minutes, but let's get back to what I feel like is so important when we look at what's happening. Black History Month. This is an event that has a lot of entrepreneurs, all are African Americans. Let's talk about, Kima, how did Manifest Millions Vision Board Partners Party come on? Yeah, how did it come about?
The Manifesting Millions came about basically just sitting down, looking back over my life and just remembering initially just thinking about my goals and where I see myself within 5 to 10 years. And my first business was 5 years ago. And I went to a seminar recently, and basically what they were saying was that in the first 2 years, a business will either sink or drown, basically. A lot of businesses close after 2 years. And with me being in business over 5 years, I've passed that mark.
Wow.
Right. And so I thought about it. I sat down with a friend and we came up with the name Manifesting Millions.
Wow.
So basically just turning your dreams into reality, because everything that we do on a day-to-day basis, driving a car, we're brushing our teeth. All of that came from someone's what
Dream.
Come on,
in their vision.
come on.
So the cars that we're driving now, the Teslas, right? Who would have thought that we would have ever been able to drive a car without an engine, right?
Wow.
And so that was all because of someone's what
Yeah.
vision.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided to do the Manifesting Millions, because everything that we do has to come from our vision.
I like that.
Wow. And you know, that is so important that you're saying what you're saying, because there's somebody who's listening to the broadcast right now that's in the process of feeling like their dream business, their dream ideal is about to sink. But if they can make it past that 2-year mark, there's a possibility that the next level will give them everything that they've been dreaming of.
Everything they need.
It's happening. Manifest Millions Vision Board Party. I want to come to you, Aisha, because I want to say that you said something earlier when it comes to a vision. You said how important that was, and to be a part of what I see happening here on February 25th from 12 to 3. When you think about the vision, and when you look at you being a CEO of a financial solutions business entrepreneur, many of us African Americans are definitely in need of understanding financial literacy. You know, we're not wealth builders, nor are we wealth planners. How did the vision for all of this come about?
So my vision actually started when I was 14 years old. My parents were the CEO of 2 Domino's Pizzas. By the time my dad was 22, however, by the time I was 3, they had lost everything. At the age of 14, my mom was getting ready to move to a homeless shelter. And that was the first time where I questioned, how did my parents go from riches to rags?
Wow.
So I became very passionate about just being my own person, making my own money, but also helping my family. So as a senior in high school, I was working 3 jobs, and I just been like money savvy since then, but I still didn't realize that it wasn't only just my family that needed the help. So as I started my credit repair business, I realized so many people had bad credit because they had poor money management skills, no financial literacy. So that's where that came about. It all started from an ebook I created just to assist my credit repair clients that other people started to ask me for. And I'm like, hey, you know, people need this sometimes more than credit. So that's where it all began when I was 14 years old.
Wow. You know, you said something that was so life-changing, and it comes back to you, Mr. Frazier. Out of our own experiences, we're able to give birth to not only a passion, but a purpose for what our life has. Here it is. You begin to question, how do we go from riches to rags?
Right.
And you begin to say, I'm not going to allow that to be a part of my life, the generation behind me. I am now going to move in a place to become more aware, more educated, endeavor into understanding how money works. And you said you were working 3 jobs.
3 jobs by the time I was senior in high school.
Wow. You still had that 3-job anointing on you now?
Yeah, kind of.
Wow.
I'm a hardworking woman.
Still. Well, listen, I want to say something that you kept, Mr. Frazier, because she experienced the family, mom living in homeless shelter.
Well, she was
going to.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it was a dramatic impact
Exactly.
on the family
Exactly.
to be able to have and then now live in a place where we have not.
Right.
You experience saying to yourself, I cannot work on this job till retirement. The question that you asked one of the employees was what?
Man, so I was working for the Department of Revenue, and I asked my manager at the time, I said, hey, I'm curious, how old will I be when I retire? So she went in her office, did the numbers, came back out. She was like 67 years old. I said, I got to leave.
Wow.
I got to leave because I can get out here. Don't get me wrong, you know, I have nothing against anyone who's, you know, went to school to become something, you know, more successful in that field. But me during that time, I was like, man, I could get out here and grind for the next 5 years and become extremely successful. You know, because at that job, they had a ceiling on how much I can make.
Exactly.
Right.
But once I left, there's no ceiling, there's no roof.
Right.
You know, as long as I keep God first, man, anything is impossible.
So listen, for those of you who are listening to the broadcast through the airways, we are talking with Miss Kima Jones, who's the CEO of Essential Diagnostics. She is the founder of Rise Thrive University, and they're presenting something that's amazing that's going to be happening right here in our city, in the city of Tallahassee. It's the Manifest Millions Vision Board Partners, and joining me are three of the guest panelists that is going to be a part of this amazing event with young African-American entrepreneurs in Black history, sharing that you don't have to let your dreams die. In the studio with us is a young lady who is the CEO of BAE Financial Solutions, who took a life experience and that transformed her whole life into understanding, if my life is going to be successful, I cannot allow money to be the lack of knowledge of a part of my life. And she took her experience and now she's educating others. Also in the studio with us is Coach Calvin Frazier, who has made a decision some many years ago that hey, I've got to move from working to retirement to figure out how to work, be successful, and retire early. And we're talking about the power of manifesting your vision. And keep in mind, I want to come back to you because you said something earlier, and I think that most of our listeners who are desiring to be entrepreneurs, who are looking at business models, who are looking at the fact that there are many people who are in business that are African Americans are struggling. What would you say to that person when you look at, when I look at your resume here, there is a plethora of responsibilities that you take on. And how are you doing all of this?
Well, I will say that there's no paperwork that can tell you how, you're being an entrepreneur is going to be hard or any of there's no roadmap, right? So basically you just have to take it one day at a time. And if you're not good at something, as far as marketing, put people in place to do that for you, because as entrepreneurs, we try to do everything, right? Ourselves, because we know how we want it to be. So I would just say, put people in place. If you have to hire somebody, hire someone to do it so that you're not stressed out, because stress is the number one killer, right? So don't stress yourself. Take it one day at a time and
That's a word for me.
pray.
Wow. I want to say there's so many amazing comments that are coming through. I'm just browsing through our feed. And Brother West says, this is much needed. Great group of business-minded individuals. Awesome. Brother Sean Williams, great show. So listen, I want to say that when we look at where we are now in our society, especially with our youth, how important, Asia, is this for parents to engage, to be a part of, and to bring their young sons and their daughters? How important is this event for them? How important is it for them to go register today, to be in the place to hear a plethora of successful entrepreneurs that are making a difference in our community?
It's very important. The good thing about the people that's on this panel is that we're real raw. So we're going to keep it very real. The trials and tribulation is not going to be anything sugar-coated. And we're also an example of just keep going. So I think everyone should come, male, female, kid, parent, everyone should come to this event.
All right, why don't you tell those who are listening to the broadcast how they can register, how they can, reserve a seat. Why don't you tell them how to do that right now? Because I want to make sure that those who are listening to this broadcast have an opportunity to be a part of this amazing moment that's happening in Tallahassee.
Right now, you can register. You can text 850-815-0660, or you can go to allaboardvisionboardparty.eventbrite.com. That's allaboardvisionparty.eventbrite.com. You can contact Asia. You can contact Coach Kelvin Frazier, Dr. Willie, anyone on the panel. You can contact them and they will give you the information to register.
Okay, so let me do something, because I want to talk about some of the amazing guests that are appearing on February the 25th. Brother Frazier, I'm going to let you talk about maybe one or two that that the people in our listening audience need to hear?
Well, first I'm gonna start off with my brother, Willie, Dr. Willie Williams.
Dr. Willie
Oh,
Williams,
my
he's
goodness.
the CEO of Willpower
Yes.
Innovation Network LLC and an assistant professor. Why should they be there to hear
Man,
Dr.
a well-educated young man. A well-educated young king.
Oh.
You know, hey, oh yeah. You know, someone that
Okay, I gotta stop you
Okay,
because
talk.
you just got somebody's attention. Doc West
that's my
said,
brother right
I
there.
will be there.
That's my brother.
I'm
there.
looking forward to
Okay.
this amazing event with these great people.
Hey, that's my brother James West. Man.
Okay, he said, I'll be there. Okay, so go on, man.
So Dr. Willie Williams, he actually sit on the board of the Tallahassee Trainers Foundation.
Okay.
And I tell you, that man is amazing. I thank God for him, you know, because he would go above and beyond to make sure we shaking hands, bumping elbows, kissing babies.
Okay.
You know.
And believe it or not, it's so important that takes place
Oh, yeah.
in this
Right.
day and age.
Right.
Again, I thank God for him because he took me and my brother James West out of our comfort zone.
Wow.
Oh yeah, along with Dr. Artley and LaShawn Gordon and Herschel. Man, they took us out of our comfort zone because I was never used to getting up on stage and talking in front of a lot of people. But James and I, oh my goodness,
Y'all
due
can do
to
it.
Dr. Willie Williams,
Can do it.
oh my goodness.
So listen, for those of you who are listening, one of the panelists is a motivator
Oh man.
and a mentor. You just heard it from Coach Calvin Frazier. All right, let's Ms. Jones, tell us about who else is coming.
All right, so Candace Maureen May will be there. She is a realtor, a real estate investor, and I will say that you need to be there. If you are looking into investing into properties so I had an event back in November of 2021. I invited Candace to come out and speak, and just a couple of months ago, 2 of the young ladies that was at my brunch has just signed their for their new house. Basically, they just closed.
That's
They
a
just
blessing.
closed on a house, and I was just like, "Look at God!" And she responded. You know, I contacted her and I just told her congratulations, and she was like, "It's all because of your event that those 2 people
Oh,
that I
wow.
met just closed on their house." And I was like, "Wow."
That's a
Wow.
blessing. That's a blessing.
So Dr. Candace May.
Candace May.
May. Oh wow. So for those of you who listen to the broadcast, let me share with you the importance of events like this and events that take place throughout our city where there is networking. You know, I was told a long time ago that your net worth determines how you are able to network.
Come on now.
And a lot of times, many of us are not able to network. Why? Because we are in a comfort zone. Well, this is a moment on February the 25th that you can break out of your comfort zone and you can hear from 9 amazing, not 11 really, amazing entrepreneurs that are right here in our city that's making a difference. So Asia, I mean, who you feel like besides yourself,
Besides myself.
who else?
Yes, I'm gonna say Nikki Nicole. I'm super proud of her. We grew up together. We're from the same place.
Okay, you said same place.
Yeah, we're both from Greenville, Florida. Yes.
And you know about finance?
I do. I do, but I'm super proud of Nikki Nicole just picking up comfort zones. This event is her stepping outside of her comfort zone. And people think real estate and investing, we always think we have to own something, but what she's going to bring to the table is teach you how to invest without owning with Airbnbs. So that's going to be a really great information. Like I said, great without owning. There's different ways in the Airbnb market that you can also make money. So there's several streams of income just in Airbnb that she's going to talk about.
Wow. So listen, you and there's still more for those of you who are listening. This event is taking place February the 25th. For more information or even how to register, you need to go to allboardvisionparty.eventbrite.com. For those of you who are listening on our Facebook, go ahead on and put that in the thread. It's allboardvisionparty.eventbrite.com. And go ahead on and reserve your place. Not only that, but for those single moms, your daughters, your sons, bring them so that they can hear some of these amazing stories of some of the speakers as to how they, and we're getting ready to get into that, how they began to see manifestation come about, all because they had a dream, they had a vision, and they would not let dream killers stop them from bringing that dream to pass. Well, Mr. Frazier, would you like to introduce somebody else that you feel like is going to be an amazing part of this spotlight of
the
speakers?
young lady, the young motivational speaker, Brittany Grover.
Brittany Grover.
Brittany, I met Brittany at my gym. You know, she came to train, very humble and very inspired. You know, she definitely is someone that we would love. That it's a blessing that she's on this panel because, man, people need to hear her story.
Wow.
People need to hear her story. Like, she's one strong, and she's a mother. You know, so for all the mothers out there, please, 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 if you haven't registered to come to this event, please come, because this woman has some powerful words for you.
Wow. All right, Kima, I'm going to come back to you and let you give us another highlight of speakers that is a part of this amazing event.
The next person I want to highlight is going to be my right hand, is Coach Kelvin Frazier. We met not too long ago, and let me tell you, when people say you got to find your tribe in people, you gotta definitely find your tribe, because even the strong person needs somebody to uplift them. So if you have any strong friends, check on your friends. I got off of Facebook a couple of days, and I'm always on Facebook because I always make content, right? And so a couple of people reached out to me, and Coach Frazier was one of them. He said, "Hey, I'm just checking on you, all right?" Mm-hmm. And so at that time, I just took a step off of Facebook just to, get closer to God and just, and pray and ask God to just lead me, right? And so that's when I first came up with the event, and so I was just asking God to, give me the name for the event, all the information that I need to manifest it, right? And so a couple people reached out, and like I said, it was Coach Frazier. Frazier's always motivating me, telling me, "Girl, you can do it." I'll be like, "No, you know what? I should change the date, or I should do this." No, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna get it done. God didn't give you the vision for you to, stop. So I just thank God for my tribe.
Wow. Well, I tell you, it's amazing that you highlighted Coach Frazier, because I think people need to know that you got to have people in your life that can encourage you when you feel like, I don't want to say giving up, but when you feel like I need that extra push, you got somebody there that can do exactly that. All right, Aisha, who else would you like to highlight on this?
So I'm not familiar with the other two people, but I definitely want to highlight them simply because that's networking.
Okay.
So it's again, you come to this event, even if you don't know anyone, because networking is very important. So even the panelists are going to be networking at this event.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to highlight someone that I know here, and that's Miss Sika Rose Green, who is the Executive Director of Children's Service Council of Leon County. And I feel like hearing Sika is life-changing, because she has been so instrumental in our community down through the years, even at FAMU, and to hear her now with the passion that she has for the Children's Council and the work that she's doing with nonprofits throughout Leon County makes her voice a voice that you have to listen to, because it's all about how we can save our community, how we can invest in programs that can make a difference. So being able to hear Sika Rose is going to be amazing. This event is happening on February the 25th, and it's happening at the 2810 Sheffer Road site. Also, this Jamaria Morris. She is the CEO of Lace Clinic LLC. Yeah. And let's make sure we got everybody that was here. We got everybody. So once again, talk about this young lady. I understand she's a special guest that's coming in. Is she?
Ashley. Yeah, Ashley Rodriguez. She is from Orlando, but she lives in Atlanta. So she will be coming down.
Okay, so she is a special guest coming
in.
I wonder, how did I know that? Thank you.
She is a branding and marketing specialist. She's special on her day to day. She is constantly helping people to brand their business. And so I love what she's doing. I've been watching her for several years. And so I invited her to come out and speak with us here in Tallahassee, Florida. So she's excited to be here next week. So looking forward to seeing her.
Okay, so those of you who listen to the broadcast, once again, this is what I need you to do. I need you to write down the way to register. It's all aboard visionparty.eventbrite.com. Let me say that again. It's all aboard Vision Party. That's all one word, .eventbrite.com. Write down the date, February the 25th from 12 to 3 p.m. Listen, the seating is just about at capacity. So therefore, you need to make plans to be in the building with your son and with your daughter. Because I think what makes this event so powerful is that the 9 to 10 speakers that are presenting, all of them have a story. And that story is a part of what manifestation is all about. And we're going to take a few minutes to really talk about manifesting millions vision board. And, you know, there was a time when the word millions was not heard of in our community.
Right.
And Asia, you're in the finances.
Right.
Is it really, really hard to attain $1 million?
It's not with a clear vision and motivation and just consistency. Consistency is going to be the main part. Even when you're doing your budget, it may not work the first 3 months, but you have to be consistent. So consistency plays a great role in finances, whatever you have. But if you have a vision behind that consistency, then yes, of course you can get $1 million and more.
Wow. So let's talk about something here today, because you know, one of the things that I feel and believe that we're living in a day and age where people just don't believe that their dreams can really come to pass, because they're allowing so many things to stop them from believing it. One, they believe that I got to have all the finances up front. Two, they believe that I got to have the roadmap to make sure I can dot all the I's and cross all the T's in order to make it happen. Three, they're making sure that I got to have all the people around me. So they're trying to put everything in place before they get started. What would you say to a person like that?
There's no perfect time. There's no perfect time to start. And I can't say that I hate is a strong word, but I dislike when someone comes to me and be like, hey, I'm just waiting on the perfect time to start this, or the perfect time to start that. I'll be like, man, just start.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Wow.
Just do it.
Okay.
Listen up, everyone. Just do it.
You just did.
I'm telling you.
How many years now?
Man, I've been training over 12 years. We're going on our 2-year anniversary this year at Kings and Queens Fitness, which is a blessing. And for the ones that don't, I took a leap of faith. You know, me.
Let's talk about that. Just do it. You took a leap of faith. And I want to come all the way around this panel, because I just believe that everyone who's sitting here experienced that same leap of faith. What did that leap of faith look like for you?
Woo. Man, I went from one mailroom to the next mailroom, and I'm gonna tell you when that leap of faith. Steve Harvey came out with Jump, and I used to sit in the mailroom running mail through the machine, and I'm listening to Jump, and Steve Harvey like, yo, you just gotta jump. So I'm like, man, I can't stand this job. So I had a building, my first building. I'll go on my break to go check my buddy James West. He'll be in the building. He was like, man, you about to go back and get this job. 8 hours of your day, and this building is sitting for 8 hours. He'll look around in the building. He was like, the building's sitting for 8 hours. He was like, you could be putting that same 8 hours that same energy that you put inside of somebody else's business and put inside your own business.
Right.
So I went back to the job, listened to Jump again, and I started praying. I asked God to give me a sign. And I kid you not, that sign came within 2 days.
Wow.
2 days, clear as day. I knew it was time to go, and I never looked back.
Wow. You just jumped. You just
Man, look, I did in my papers. Hey, I gotta go.
no 2 weeks, no.
Man, look here. I gave them the paper. This is 2 weeks notice, but I left within those 2 weeks. Yeah, just let you know in advance. Yeah.
Wow.
I had to go.
So I mean, so really, what you just said, believe it or not, what you just said, just caused someone faith to be elevated.
Oh man.
Because you didn't know what was going to happen. All you know is your partner challenged you to say, this building is open, and you're putting your energy in another place, when if you're going to see your dream come to pass, your energy should be here.
Man.
No money,
Oh,
no support system,
man.
just the vision.
My sister is one of my backbones, and I love her to death. She was like, bro, go for it. Go for it. And I thank God for her because, a lot of times when I'm going through certain things, I call her my sister. And she be like, hey, bro, you got this.
Wow.
When I feel defeated, I call her my sister. She like, you got this. And also my young lady V, when I call her up, she be like, you know what, you got this. Just keep pushing. Trust God and keep pushing. You got this. So when you have that support system, man, you can go beyond and above, man.
Listen, I need those of you who are listening to the broadcast through the airways, I need you to go register now. That's right. It's all aboard visionparty.eventbrite.com. Why? Why do you need to be there? You need to be there because something is going to be said that's going to cause something inside of you to know that you can jump. Well, I want to come to you, Kima, because, now, you are talking about the manifestation millions of the vision board. We just heard from Coach Frazier about how, he made that decision to jump 5 years ago. What were you doing?
Well, 5 years ago, 5 years ago, I was fired from my job, which pushed me to entrepreneurship.
Wow.
Before I got fired, every day I went to work. I don't like this job. I don't like this job. I was always late. I would get there whenever I got there because it wasn't fulfilling my passion. It wasn't fulfilling my dreams. It wasn't what I wanted, right? So I got fired. That was of course, a deal breaker for me. Thank God I was with somebody who was able to pick up the slack, right? And so for me, it was just like, you know what? I don't want to work for nobody else. I don't want to work for anybody else who doesn't value me. I don't want to work for anybody else who doesn't care if I need time off, if I'm sick, if my kids are sick. So, and then the retirement, like they didn't have the best retirement plans, right? So I just said to myself, you know what? I don't want to work for anybody else, helping them build their dreams, helping them make millions, helping them be millionaires when I could be building my own.
Wow.
So
being fired, oh God, this is amazing. Being fired, it was a deal breaker. Now you're in search of what? What's next? I mean,
what's next for me? I would just say I want to expand my business. I want to have a business in about 5 different states, and just not living from paycheck to paycheck anymore. So
wow, it's amazing to hear you say that being fired. Prior to that, there was this feeling of I don't want to be here. I'm tired of coming to work. Not that you didn't want to work, but the desire for that place was not there. There was something inside of you that needed to be birthed. And so you took the level of your own skill set, the level of your own professional abilities, and you began to birth your own dream.
Yes.
Wow. Man, listen, I tell you, that's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who listen to the broadcast, we are talking with some amazing entrepreneurs here today who are part of a amazing vision board Manifest Millions event that's going to be taking place on February 25th from 12 to 3, and you can register online at allaboardsvisionparty.eventbrite.com to be able to reserve a seat. Listen, seating is going amazingly fast. So you want to make sure that you are there. I thought that my audience needed to hear from these amazing entrepreneurs and the work that they're doing and why it's so important for you to hear their story. Well, Asia, I want to come to you now because we heard a little bit about, your hunger and thirst to really become this person who goes after understanding finances. What has been some of the biggest challenges that you've seen now since you have been trying to educate and inform the community on how to budget and how to manage their money? What are some of those?
The things that we did learn. a lot of misinformation. So the biggest problems I have is trying to teach them how to unlearn those bad habits.
Wow. I gotta stick a pin in it. I gotta stick a pin in there. Teaching people to unlearn bad habits.
Right.
That can be difficult.
It's very, very difficult, depending on their mindset. So whenever I'm working with anyone, I always start with their mindset. Always. So we have to go in the same mindset in order for you to see the vision. So that's very important.
Wow. So I mean, you all are experienced some level, you've experienced some level of success in what you do. I'm sure you've grown through some of the encounters, some of the trials. What do you feel like has been one of the greatest success stories that you've seen happen? You talked about a young lady who was at an event with you who met Mrs. May and how that event shifted her life. Now she's a homeowner. When it comes to what do you think has been one of the most rewarding stories that you've had to encounter?
Yes, so a lady from my hometown had been renting for like 30 plus years, and she really wanted a home, and everywhere she went had told her that she didn't have the credit, she couldn't do it. And we did a consultation. I was like, yeah, you can get a home within the next 30 days. And she's now the homeowner, and she found out that also the neighbors next door lived on her property. So she's a homeowner, but she's also collecting rent. So that's gonna be forever my success story.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think you said something now that really gonna have to make me ask a major question. What would you tell? Why would you tell her that in the next 30 days she's gonna be a homeowner?
Because what we don't realize, a lot of the lenders and people that we talk to and we go to about our mortgage, they know mortgage, they don't know credit. So you're looking at your credit report and they're giving you advice, and a lot of times they're giving you misinformation. So that was her situation. She was given misinformation. So I was able to look at her credit profile and say, hey, if you need a 640 to get this home, let's just do this. Your credit report updates in the next 30 days, you will be mortgage ready. And that's exactly what happened.
Wow. Well, listen, I tell you what, we're about to flood your timeline, your inbox. Tell people how to get in touch with you when it comes to this credit stuff.
I definitely will, but that's where my name comes from. I don't want to just repair your credit. I want to teach you. I want to build you up, and I want to educate you on the process so you can teach someone else. So she was able to go back to that lender and explain to her exactly the misinformation that was given, so she won't give it out to anyone else.
Wow.
So that's what
oh my God. We got to talk about this within the few minutes that I have remaining. Certainly this has been an amazing segment. The people who are listening to the broadcast, they are being blessed with knowledge, with information. I'm looking at some of the comments that's coming through the thread. You said something that I think is so important. When people get knowledge, it empowers them. Not only do it empowers them, but it gives them a sense of authority. You said she went back to the mortgage loan officer. And the person who gave her misinformation, she was able to now give them a sense of understanding of what they were saying.
Absolutely.
When you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better.
So that's it. That's why it's so important for those of you who are listening. I gotta keep. I'm sharing this because when you find this many African Americans in one room, dropping nuggets that can possibly change the trajectory of your life, it's important for you to make every attempt to be present. Come on. And this is what's amazing today on this broadcast. This is what's so amazing to be able to talk to Mr. Frazier, to talk to Miss Jones, to be able to talk to Miss Tompkins, and to be able to see how just out of a pure ideal, this was manifested. And now it is picking up the kind of momentum, the kind of steam, and the results in past events give proof that you don't want to miss what is going to happen on February the 25th. It's really the last week of Black History Month, but the history that's in this room can shift your life forever. Why? Because you're going to get knowledge, you're going to get information, you're going to become inspired, and therefore with that, your level of confidence changes. She dealt with a woman who didn't have no house because she was misinformed. And she got informed and went back and told the informer that you're a misinformer. That's what knowledge does.
Correct.
And that's so important. I want to ask you this, Brother Frazier, because you're into health and wellness, and most people, especially men, how important is it for men, man, to become engaged in the health education?
Man, fellas, I hope you listen up right now, because one thing that I know for a fact, a lot of women take care of themselves. And if you have a significant other, husband, I'm talking about, well, a wife, a girlfriend, someone that's going to help push you or motivate you to get out there and start exercising because of your health declining, please listen to them. Because a lot of times we listen, we want God to show us signs, and the sign could be right there in front of your face. So please listen to them. Get out there, because your health matters, because we deal with so much in our community, from hypertension to diabetes, etc. So we really have to focus on our health. And when you know better, you do better.
Wow, you know what? I'm gonna give you this for free. I'm gonna give you this for free. So I hope you got a pen and paper and write this down. I'm gonna give you this for free. I think what you need to birth is the manifestation of men being able to move in a place to where they understand health. Can you imagine 100 pastors, 100 law enforcement officers, 100 educators, all men in one place on a Saturday under your leadership?
So I know for a fact my brother James West is listening. He's law enforcement. I hope you write this down, buddy. I hope you write it down.
And I'm not gonna invoice you all. But what I'm saying, you said something that was so key. You know, females are always aware of their health.
Oh yeah.
It's the men that are.
And we're stubborn. Our egos be knocking us back. You know, we are those, oh, I used to be. I used to play this. I used to do this. Or I used to do that. But what are you doing now?
So James, if you're listening, man, just go ahead on and write down all the categories that men operate in, and let's just figure out how do we, and our station will partner. I'm going to get Mike Court in on this. Our station will partner to say it's the men roundup.
But that's why we created the Tallahassee Trainers Foundation, to get out in the community, to help promote health and wellness, and also to educate the people in the community.
Well, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. It's going to be the men's roundup. So James, get abreast of that. We're going to be telling you more about it right here on Hallelujah 95.3 FM. I'm going to get with Doc D. I'm going to get with Mike Court. And we're going to talk about how we can create a day for men to spend hours in health, awareness, and working out. Mike, you think we can do that?
Yep.
Okay. So you heard it right here. He's the morning guy from 8 until 7 to 10, the Mike Cork Show. So we're going to talk about how we're going to partner to make that happen. And once Dr. D get back into town, man, we're going to do it. So listen, before the few minutes that we have remaining, I want to say this, that this event has the potential to really, really impact the lives of those who have given up on their vision, who have felt like their vision would never come to pass. This is a moment for you to dust off all of those papers that you were writing, because there are going to be at least 11 individuals telling you, from branding and marketing strategists to young ladies who teaching you how to invest in Airbnbs, to BAE Financial Solutions, to Kevin Frazier, the king and queen fitness, to motivational speakers, to realtors, to the CEO of Willpower Innovations, to the executive of Children's Society. I mean, you're going to get a wealth of knowledge. If you don't get something from this one, you're going to get something from that one. You're going to get something. All you got to do is have an open mind when you walk into the building. With the few minutes that I have remaining on this broadcast, Kima, you know, I want to say this, and I remember when you and I first met, it was at a network event. Do you remember?
I remember.
And you know, you wouldn't believe this, Kelvin. When we first met, I said, there is so much potential in you.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so amazing about this young lady, Mike, is that one day I looked up and there she was sitting in church, and I didn't even invite her. And when I looked up again, she was actively involved, joining, and I knew then that something amazing was happening in her life. And here she is now leading several organizations, businesses, all because she had the tenacity, she had the willpower and the determination to live her dreams. What would you say in the closing remarks to thousands of people who are listening to our broadcast that may have given up, that may feel like, I don't know whether my dream can really come to pass? What would you say to that person who just got fired?
I want to say that do not give up on your dreams, even though it may seem as if they're so far away. Continue to pray. Write down your vision. If you need help, ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you need help. I know a lot of times we just kind of get caught up in, they're going to talk about me, or they're going to, say something, they're going to tell somebody else. But just pray about it and ask anyway. The only thing they can tell you is no, right? So just keep asking until you get that one yes. But I would just want to say, just don't give up. Just don't give up. That's all I can say.
And I think that's it. Just don't give up. Don't give up. And certainly I want to thank Kima for during the pandemic, when we decided to start back having service at our worship experience. She led our whole pandemic initiative with putting a team together to help make sure that people had the proper wear when it came to entering the sanctuary, taking temperatures. She put a whole team of people together. And once the pandemic left, it hasn't left, but once it kind of like declined in its height, she's been so busy. So I got to find something else for her. Because at least that kept her coming every Sunday during that time. So listen, there's a young lady that wants to know, Alma, this is how you register. You go to allaboardvisionparty.eventbrite.com. That's allaboardvisionparty.eventbrite.com. That's how you register. There are people who are online asking how to register. If you could put that, somebody put that in our thread, and that will give you information. Asia, with the last few minutes that's left, I want to come to you, and certainly I want to applaud you for your being able to take a family situation and let that become the purpose-driven life that you're now living.
Right.
And so what can people expect to hear from you on February the 25th?
Basically my story, my why I go so hard to try to teach people about financial literacy, why I go so hard about generational wealth and things like that. But most importantly, I'm there to motivate. As a business owner, I've taken many L's, almost gave up many times, but I kept going. And I've been in business 3 years now, and this has been one of my best years. Had I stopped, prior to, I wouldn't be where I am today. So that's what I'm going to talk about come February 25th.
Okay, so how can people get in touch with you to find out more information?
Yes.
About, first of all, you just don't repair credit.
I don't.
You educate them on
Yes.
the knowledge they need
Yes.
to understand how credit works.
You and your kids.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can follow me on all social media sites at BAE Financial Solutions. My personal page is Aisha Tompkins. If you would like to go to my website, it's www.baefinancialsolutions.com. My phone number is 1-800-718-2461.
Wow. Hey, listen, it's been an amazing show right here on the Greg James Community Show. Certainly want to thank God for all of you who have tuned in. And I want you to know that it's happening February 25th. That's right. It is the Manifest Millions Vision Board Party. And you need to know the CEO Kima Jones. She's going to be in the house with the Rise and Thrive University, and there are going to be a plethora of speakers that's going to be there. Thank you, Aisha Tompkins, CEO of BAE Financial Solutions, for joining us today. And also thank you, Coach Kevin Frazier, the owner of Kings and Queens Fitness and the president of the Tallahassee Trainers Foundation.
Yes.
And there are so many more that are going to be there. And I want to say to all of you that are listening to the broadcast, please don't forget now, register today. As a matter of fact, as you can see, people are calling, asking how to register. You want to make sure that the doors don't close without you being in a seat on February 25th. Listen, it's been an amazing broadcast. Until next week, I want you to do something that's very, very special. I want you to register. I want you to walk in faith. I want you to be encouraged. And I want you to know that if it's a dream that you had, don't let the dream killers stop you from making it come to pass. Your vision is going to give you the victory. Until next week, I'm Greg James saying the vision is coming to pass.
I might end up